All right, everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of Life Itself. I'm here with my beautiful, smart, amazing, wonderful, talented fiance, Brittany Jane. Welcome back. Everybody clap it up.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome
Oh,
back.
you're singing songs for me.
Who's that song by?
I couldn't tell you who was back. Welcome
Who's
back.
Is that the same one?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
It was a good song, though. If you know what it is, comment wherever you're watching on that. But anyway, we're back. Episode 3 of, it feels like episode 97, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like we've been doing this for a long time?
Yes and no.
Yes, I know, right? I kind of feel that. I feel that. But yeah, episode 3, we are back. We are back from a long trip. If you guys listened to the last episode, you would know that we just got back from Europe. And it was an experience, man. Like I said, if you guys listened to the last episode, you would know I was having some mixed opinions, mixed thoughts on my whole travel experience and us going to Europe for the first time together.
Yeah, when we left off, you were shitting your pants, literally. Literally.
Yeah.
And thinking that we were going to be the next news story of our
Victims.
plane going down.
Victims of the planes.
Victims.
Next
Yeah.
victims of the planes
Yeah.
going down. But luckily, we are here. We are back. We made it safe and sound back 2 feet in America. And thank God the plane didn't go down. Thank God.
Was there any point where you were like, this might be it?
I'm going to be honest. I did one of those things where, you know me, I get like, what's the word? Like when I'm stressed, I just like deassociate and I just like literally just act like I just force myself to sleep.
Yeah, it's seriously like a superpower of yours
Yeah.
that I wish I had.
Yeah, if I get stressed or scared or anything and I just don't want to deal with it, it's just like
Yeah.
I'm out, bro. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There, when we got off one of our flights, you were like, yeah, that was so smooth. Like there wasn't any turbulence. I was like, there was some turbulence. I wasn't going to tell you, but you were just knocked out. So I was like, yeah, no
Wait,
turbulence.
was there turbulence while we were flying?
Yeah.
I feel like the only time I really noticed was one time, and this is probably normal for avid plane goers. Maybe you can tell me. When you're like about to land, gets a little fucking spooky. All right, I'm in the chair, like
Yeah.
you know, like praying, literally.
I mean, it makes sense because like how that plane must be like, God only knows, tons and tons, like,
well, yeah, I
5
mean,
bajillion tons.
on the way to Paris, our plane was huge.
Yeah.
I've
So I'm
never.
saying like landing something like that, it's like,
Oh, it's yeah. I don't
it's
even
going
want
to
to
be
think
a
about
little
it.
bumpy.
You ever play Flight Simulator?
No, I don't even know what that is.
I've played it a couple times. It's pretty crazy. You act like you're flying. And honestly, maybe that's why I'm so afraid of flying or have been so afraid of flying because when you play that game, if you do it wrong, you fuck.
The thing is, though, with landing the plane, and I said this to you when we were like landing back home in New York, I was like, at this point, if the plane crashes, like we're close enough to the earth where like we'd live. So like it's fine.
I don't think
And you're like, Brittany, this is not the time.
Yeah, that's not the
This
time.
is not
Actually,
the
yeah, I
time.
remember you saying that, and I'm like looking at you like, what? Like, bro, we're going 600 miles an hour.
Yeah, but like we're close enough, you know? Like,
No, I don't know. Like, you would blow up on impact, bro.
okay, maybe.
Anyway, all right. So we're back. Long story short, episode 3. We're here, and we're gonna touch on how the trip went, or how flying went. And I'll start that off because I was so afraid. Flying to Europe was very smooth. I slept almost the whole time. The flight was smooth. Like you said, there was a little turbulence, but wasn't that crazy. I didn't really notice it. One thing I will say, the food sucked. Absolutely terrible.
Oh, on the plane.
On the plane, yeah, the food was terrible.
Oh, I mean, what do
Yeah,
you
like I
expect?
got some like, what was it, pasta on the way back? And I was just like, this is disgusting. It was pasta with a cornbread. The only thing I ate was the piece of bread, not the cornbread. There was like a little side, like little baguette thing, probably because it was Paris, you know?
Yeah.
It's cute.
I just said no every time.
Yeah, you said no. Honestly, they caught me by surprise though, man. Like I was asleep and they came and you looked at me, you were like, you don't have to say yes. I was like, no, just give me it.
I know,
Just
because
give
you
me-"
were dead. No, you were dead asleep, and then they wake you up and give you like this like pasta like with like red sauce,
like onions in
spaghetti,
there. I
and I
smelled
was
the
like,
onions.
and you're like, yeah. I'm like, what? You were just dead asleep, and you're gonna take this whole meal?
They just-
and then you literally just ate the bread and nothing else, and then you for 30 minutes were stuck like with your whole entree of food. I was like, see, I told
Yeah,
you.
no, it was. But besides that, I mean, it was cool. You know what though? I will say, sleeping on a plane is probably one of the worst things in the world. It's like my neck. By the time I woke up, I'm like this, just like stuck, and I wake up and like my neck is just in a knot.
And no matter how like comfortable it is, it's still never comfortable. It's just like you're never fully sleeping.
Yeah.
Because I feel like also they turn the lights on and off 4,000 times. I'm like, just keep the friggin' lights off.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why do
It's
they
super
turn
annoying.
the lights off?
I think because they're like going up and down through the plane. So then they like the steward, the flight attendants.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What
Like
are
they
they
can't be doing it in the dark or whatever.
Yeah, so like to give people like you their pasta, they need the light on
Yeah,
so
that
that
makes
they
sense.
don't trip. But it's really annoying, especially when you're flying in the middle of the night and it's 3:00 in the morning and you're like, I just want the light off. So yeah, it's never really sound sleep. But now, how do you feel? Because you thought you were gonna die. You were dreading it for months and months and months. It was like all I ever heard. You didn't want to talk about it. You were having anxiety. You're like, oh my God, I hate traveling. Now that you've done it, how was the actual like not the trip, but the actual travel experience? Let's hear about it.
Nah, the first thing that comes to my mind is I'm just thanking God that something was up with my stomach that week where like I only shit like 3 times.
That's not normal, by the way. Like,
So like I'm thinking because maybe that, something was going on with my stomach in a good way where I wasn't like having to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes out of like pure anxiety, that helped me in my favor because I didn't have to go really. Like think of a time where like I went to the bathroom.
no, you don't go to the bathroom ever. So like, I don't know why that's like a fear of yours, because if anything, you don't go to the bathroom enough. Like that's
Yeah.
like it's a separate problem. It's not like you have to go to the bathroom so much. It's like you don't go enough. So I'm not really surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I was good. But besides that, I think, what I've come to terms with traveling now that we're like back, we're good, everything's whatever.
Yes, share
Is
with the
like-
class.
The fear of the unknown while you're traveling, like
Yeah.
driving to the airport, getting in the plane, flying to wherever you're going, like getting out of the plane, then going to wherever you have to go then, like to the Airbnb or the hotel or whatever. It's like that is what is the scariest part for me. And like almost not dreading, but like almost like, you know what I mean? That was like the fear of mine. Like the actual travel made it like scary for me, I guess. You know what I mean? But after doing it, we're lit. We're lit. Europe
Oh
is
my
lit.
God.
First off, I said in the last episode, I think I was like, Europe, whatever. Everybody would be excited to go there, right? I understand why. Europe is better than America, period. I can't even, if we did a pros and cons, America versus Europe, there's maybe like 1 or 2 things that are a pro about America, and then the rest in Europe is just way better. Like they just do it better over there.
Yeah, and I do want to go through and talk about the pros and cons, because I think that there were so many things that stuck out to us that we were like, oh, this thing, oh, that thing, oh, like, why don't we do that? Like, that just makes sense. And so I do want to talk about that. I also want to say that what you're saying about having anxiety about the unknown, that's like the part of travel that a lot of people find exciting, is that like you're exploring new places, you don't know totally what's next to come, and that's like what's fun about it. So I think maybe now that you've done it, you can like appreciate it a little bit more.
No, I appreciate it, but like what the hell is fun about not knowing or feeling safe about what's going on? Like what's fun about that? I don't know.
Because like when you do the same thing every day, it gets a little boring. But for you, I guess not.
I mean, boring?
Yeah, like it gets like repetitive.
I don't understand.
What do you not understand?
Like, I feel like for me in my routine of life,
in my routine of a life.
Yeah, it's like I haven't accomplished what I want to accomplish in life yet. You know what I'm saying? And it's like doing my routines of what have gotten me to where I've gotten, which I'm happy with my life. I've done a lot of great things. We have done a lot of great things together. So it makes me like, all right, things are going well, but I'm not where I want to be 100% yet. So it's like, and I feel like I'm always going to want more, but you know, that routine of what's working and what I feel comfortable with and what has served me best so far, that's kind of why I'm so like happy and excited, even if it might be like whatever you're saying, boring or whatever, boring.
I feel like that is the typical like a man's issue. You know what I mean? Of like, always like, I have to be where I need to be in my life in order to like enjoy my life. And I have to like I can't do this until like I did X, Y, and Z thing. And it's like, then all the, like, it's never going to be enough. You're never going to accomplish everything you want to accomplish. Like, you're always going to want more. And so then it's like, you didn't get to experience any of the adventure because you're always like, okay, I can't do that fun thing yet, or I can't do this new thing yet because I'm not like at X, Y, and Z place where I want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I feel what you're saying. It's just like, I guess as a man, right, it is cool how we like experience things and see things from a different lens, because you're right. You are right. I'm always going to want more. It's never going to be enough. But it's like I said, as a man, you do kind of have these like societal pressures of like, you have to have X, Y, Z. You have to keep grinding. You have to provide. You have to like, I feel like those like underlying pressures of society is like, that's just what we live for. Like, I can't enjoy, like, even taking a vacation for 9 days or whatever it was that we just did, I felt guilty the whole time. Like, not guilty, but like, because we were there for like an amazing reason, right? Like, we were checking out our wedding venue, which, by the way, we're going to get into. It was fucking beautiful. And you did an amazing job. Like, I really have to give you claps because the way, like, I saw pictures, obviously, and like, you know, all of that, but seeing it in person, it was breathtaking. Like, really, it was like, and having our family there with us while we were at the venue and just being out there with our families was like hit extra special too. Like, it just was a really cool moment, and it made it feel real. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
for sure.
You know, we're getting married in a couple months, and it's like, it felt super real. Like, while we were there, I'm just like looking at you and how happy and lit up you looked, and like how beautiful it just was, and like seeing everyone's reactions to the place when we first got there was awesome too. But I'm getting off on tangents, but yeah, as a man, there is pressures in the world, and I feel like I can't enjoy or like take my foot off the gas because it's like I'm not where I want to be, you know? So
yeah. I feel like, though, something that I've learned from traveling, and I feel like you experienced this since we went, is like, yes, it's hard to like put a pause and not feel guilty, but at the same time, it also like it remotivates you. Like, it's like a new surge of like, okay, stepped outside my bubble, and I got kind of like new inspiration, and I got like a new fresh perspective, and I get to like reset, and now like let's hit the ground running when we get home. Like, I'm about to like go so hard because I just got like a nice reset for that week.
No, definitely. I mean, even speaking for myself, like when I was out there, like I said, I was feeling guilty or whatever it was, and I was still working while we were out there, you know, like my phone, I have literally like 500 videos and pictures. I was posting things that I would have never posted on my page while we were out there.
Yeah, like shout out the bidet video.
Yo, the bidet video, we got like 100,000 views on that video while we were out there. It was kind of crazy. On TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, it popped off on every platform, which that's how you know it's a good video. But yeah, I thought it was, I don't know, the second we got to our Airbnb, you know, I saw the bidets and whatever, and I was just like, oh, this would be a good video, you know? Because even me, like, I'm thinking in my head, why the hell are there two of these things everywhere we go in Europe? So I knew that was going to do well. But yeah, things like that, even my day in the life, like little vlogs that we did, it's like, it like makes me pissed off and upset that that's the content that I would love to be doing, but it's like it doesn't perform the way that I want it to. So it makes me like, I can't really do this. But like, I think sprinkling it in, especially in that moment of time while we were in Europe, was like really cool because it's like not for nothing. It's something that we could look back on.
Yeah.
You know, those little like vlog videos that I did. I love them. They were super fun to make. And, you know, I hope that one day I'm able to just post those, and that's all I need to do because it felt good trying different things. That's one thing while traveling, it made me feel like, you know, I was trying different things and I was having fun doing it. So
yeah, it's like takes you out of your comfort zone. And I feel like that's like a way to grow in life. And I think sometimes when you're home in your usual routine, not just you, but anyone, it's like, that's great. And you like grind and you do what you got to do. Sometimes it's nice to like step outside of that and be like, wait, I'm doing this thing, but actually I could be doing it even better if I tweak it this way, because all of a sudden you get like a new perspective, you get new ideas. So I think that's also, even though you feel guilty, I feel like it's something that can be looked at as a positive of travel.
no, definitely. I mean, getting that, like, I definitely felt like more inspired, more like I stepped back for a second and kind of saw things from like what it's like to not be working all day long. You know what I mean?
And that's something like we'll get into it in a second, like the pros and cons of Europe and America and just like the differences and stuff. But that's something when you're over there, like, oh my God, just the way that they are in terms of like working and this, not like they are chilling. They are like enjoying their life so much more.
Yeah, how do they make money over there? I don't like, it's so different. Like, I just feel like for me, right, someone that work, like I can say it, like I work super, super hard. So like over here, my thought process, as opposed to someone who lives over there, like I don't think like being a content creator or an entrepreneur or whatever it is like a thing over there.
It's definitely a thing over there.
Is it? Like, I'm just like in Europe, do they like, what do they do? Like they everybody just seemed like they were just chilling. Like nothing mattered.
Well,
like,
they don't work as much as we do. Like they, like just culturally, like Americans, I mean, that's part of like what our culture is known for. Like just like being like going so hard, go big or go home. Like that's so like American. Like, and I feel like other cultures are more about like, not that we're not about family and stuff like that, but like so much of Europe shuts down in like in the late afternoon for like 3 hours, 4 hours
to take a nap,
and
like,
everything
what?
Is fucking closed. And then like if you don't like, and that's just what it is. Like we would never like we're like, if anything, like going double, triple overtime, like it's so different. And pros and cons to that, you know, like there's reasons why America is kind of viewed how America is viewed. And there's certain things about our culture that I feel like transcend the world. Whereas maybe someone who, for example, like using celebrities or music or something, like someone from Italy who's like a super famous pop star in Italy, like I probably don't know who they are, but someone who's a super famous pop star in America, they know who they are all around the world. So there's reason, like pros and cons, but like they do seem a little happier in terms of like their they work.
People definitely seemed super happy. Speaking of pop stars in Italy, should we go there right now?
Oh, Sabrina?
Yo, listen, Sabrina Carpenter. You Sabriners out there. I don't even know what you guys call yourself.
No, I don't know. Do they have a name?
I don't even know what they're called, but these people who are obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter are just on a different level of life. Like we went to, so for those of you who don't know and who are listening or don't follow me on social media, because I did post about it while we were out there, we went to a Sabrina Carpenter concert.
In Milan.
And Milano, and they were going absolutely I've never seen anything like these Sabrina Carpenter fans. It was like actually mind-blowing to the point where it was so loud in there that at one point in the concert, I had to get up and leave.
Oh yeah, you started having like a kind of like a panic attack.
Yeah, low key, and I didn't ask for it. I didn't
ask for it.
In the moment, I didn't feel anything was wrong. I was vibing. I was thinking about me, you know what I mean? Like I was vibing, but she did this thing where it was like, all right, everybody in here, let's make some noise. Woo! Yo, it got so loud. My brain was rattling back and forth in my head and my body like didn't know what to do. That's how loud these Sabrina Carpenter fans are. It was literally mind blowing. Like actually.
Yeah, she did the thing where it was like, okay, the right side of the room versus the left side of the room, like who can be louder and whatever. Kind of during the part where like whatever artist is performing, they'll like talk to you. And all of a sudden you like vanish. You're like, I have to go to the bathroom. And then never returned.
Oh.
And I was like, where did he go?
That
like,
is one of the times that I shit in Europe was at a Sabrina Carpenter concert. Let's go. Yeah, I went straight to the bathroom. The bathrooms are different in Europe too. That's another thing. But yes, I did go. That's one time I did go.
Thank you for letting us know.
I had to let you know.
Really
because,
happy for you.
Yeah, I got scared. Like my body went into like shock and was like, yo, you got it.
It's so funny because I really think that those little things about you, I feel like people would not think that you're like that.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But you get like overstimulated, whereas like I just thought nothing of it. Yes, it was definitely loud. Like,
No. That was
my
one of
cup in my hand was vibrating.
Yeah.
But like it's just I feel like people wouldn't expect that like you would get so overstimulated by something like that.
No, I was like beyond overstimulated. But I didn't feel it. Like it was my body that was overstimulated. I was fine.
Yeah.
I was vibing out. I was having a great time. She's very, very talented.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't really know too much about her. I knew like she was starting to get like Taylor Swift-ish in like.
Well, because I think she started, I mean, she was already starting to blow up, but I think she like really like took off once I think she opened for Taylor Swift.
I didn't know that.
Like
but
last year or something.
I knew her even more from she just won a Grammy, and I was watching the Grammys and I saw her that she won, and I was like, who the fuck is this Taylor Swift looking at? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know. She just looked like a regular, like, oh, this is the next pop star girl that's popping right now. I didn't know too much, and the Espresso song is all over TikTok, so that's like that's really all I knew of her. But then when I heard that we were going to the concert, I was like, oh, okay, I got to kind of do a little research. I ended up dropping a Snapchat show on her. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Dropped an episode on Snapchat about her.
Yeah.
So I learned some of the tea. She was beefing with Camilla and Shawn
Well, because
Mendes
they
and all
say that some of her songs, or one of her songs, I think it's
about Shawn.
It's called Taste. Honestly, don't quote me on that, but I think it could be that one. And that, yeah, they had like a thing, and then she wrote the song about Camila Cabello and him or something, and then Camila Cabello wrote another song back. I don't know.
Yeah,
My sister
beefing,
knows
low-key.
all the lore, but I don't. But it was interesting. Yeah, and then your show was about that. And also just how I was curious to see what like was going to happen with, I think the song is Juno, that she always does like a different kind of like sexual pose, basically.
Yo, she is scandalous. They had at the concert at Sabrina Carpenter was just on the screen, and it had a parental guidance warning because there's all these little girls in the crowd, and it said literally like parents something advise or whatever.
Yeah, because it's a very sexual show.
Oh, sexual isn't even the word. She's
Oh.
like doing crazy things up there.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
off, she's kind of like naked on stage.
I mean, like, who isn't?
Yeah,
you know?
no. No, yeah, but and look, she looks great. She's out there killing it.
No, she killed it.
She killed it.
And what I will say was I kind of loved, I think, the jury's still out. Like, I kind of loved how, like, since her album's called Short and Sweet, the concert's, like, short and sweet. It was, like, an hour and a half, and then it's, like, you're in and you're out. And I, like, liked that because it was kind of, like, you're not lingering for too long. You're not, like, overstimulated. Well, I guess you still were, but everyone else. But also it was kind of like, damn, like, I blinked and it was over.
No, it was cool for me because I was having that whole like, you know, I was having a little some situation, but it was honestly cool though. It was cool how it was in and out. She didn't go too hard or anything, you know.
Also, what we need to talk about is, as a side conversation, the concert was supposed to start at 9 p.m. and this girl came out at 8:30, We almost missed the concert.
Yeah, what was good with that?
Especially when the concert's only an hour and a half. All of a sudden, everyone starts cheering so loud, and we're like, "There's no way!"
Sabrina, Sabrina.
Wait, you did it so good. Yeah, they all started chanting her name in an Italian accent because it was in Milan, and then it was sounded just like that. Yeah, they're like Sabrina. It was so cute.
And when I heard that, I was like, oh, maybe they're, just getting hyped that she's about to come. But then once I heard that she was on stage, I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Yeah, it was very loud.
Like
she did say we were very me.
Well, you were chanting.
Yeah, we have to
vibe
go
out.
with the vibes. And she did say like that it was so loud there, and I wonder how many people, because it's not even like it was the biggest venue ever, but it was definitely very loud. But the other thing I wanted to say about her was I was so curious. You probably don't even know about this. How she does maybe from your show, but she does the different poses or I guess essentially different sex positions in that song Juno. I think
there
that's
is
a song.
12-year-old girls on that are in the crowd, and she's doing sex positions.
Yeah. In Paris, she did the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I saw that. That was kind of fire though. That was cool.
Right, what else is she gonna do? She has to. But it was apparently a whole controversy, which I didn't think was so crazy. What do you expect?
Yeah, but
the song is about Make Me Pregnant.
What?
That's why it's called Juno.
What the hell is Juno?
Remember the movie Juno where the girl got pregnant in high school?
No.
What?
Juno?
Are you a part of culture?
I
what
don't
do you mean?
watch movies. I have ADHD. My brain is fried, bro.
No, but that was even if you didn't see it, it was that was such a big movie when I feel we were in high school, college.
I heard of it maybe. I don't know. But okay, so she made a song about this movie about being pregnant.
Well, it wasn't about the movie, but yeah. But it was just about I think the gist of the song is I'm so into you that I could let you make me Juno, make me pregnant. And so it's a
Does
very
Juno
sexual.
mean pregnant?
Yeah, because Juno was I think the name of the girl in the movie, and she got pregnant in high school.
Oh my God.
I think that was her name, right?
Poor girl.
I can't remember. It was so long ago. But yeah, and so I was curious to see what she was going to do for the Milan show because
What did she even do? I can't remember.
She did the gesture of how Italians will
she
talk
did this.
with the two fingers and then the
Yeah.
But then I think she did it as in put in something.
Oh, she was
yeah.
Whoa,
yeah.
she's
putting something in her mouth.
somewhere. She's nuts, bro. So all right, I have
Yeah.
a question for you then.
What?
Because I think personally, after being at that show, looking around, it was a lot of little girls. Would you say what? 80% of the people there were little girls?
Oh no, would you?
I feel like. Or at least
it was a lot. I wouldn't say little girls. I guess, how do we define little girls? I would say I could see girls in high school, but it was a lot of mother-daughter
That's
duos.
what I was going to say.
So it's not
little
they were
girls with their mom.
7. When you say little girl, I picture a 7-year-old. They were
Probably
maybe 14.
14, 13.
Which is still young. Yeah, still young.
Even 12.
But it was a lot of mother-daughter duos.
Yeah.
And when I was waiting in the bathroom line at the end, I was just thinking oh, if that was me and my mom, interesting. But
yeah, so that's kind of what I was just going to ask you. If we had a daughter
yeah.
that wanted to go see Sabrina Carpenter, would you bring her?
What I think is appropriate.
Well, I don't think going into it you would know if it's appropriate or not. But then once you were there and after you've been there, would you want our daughter to go see Sabrina Carpenter?
It depends how old she was. It depends how much she loved her. And it depends how much she understood. I don't know, because it was a cute little show. It was very
it was
sexual.
great. Look. I'm not trying to knock Sabrina. She did great. She's an awesome. I'm actually low key a fan of hers now. Now that I've experienced her art and just the show in general. I'm definitely I wouldn't say a fan, but I'm a fan of what she creates. And you always have to respect someone. That noise when people were cheering for her, was a different type of I just respect her. You know what I mean? What she's built and how she's done it. So.
I feel the thing is, when we were young, we were singing these most insane lyrics ever. I seriously had no idea what I was even saying. So it's also I don't know, if you have a 14-year-old daughter, obviously she's listening to Sabrina Carpenter. So it's
You think so? She's that big.
What else
that,
are they listening to?
Yeah, I don't know. I
Like,
don't
what the
know.
hell else are they listening to?
I'm like not tapped
Probably
in.
her.
Really.
I don't know. Like, I don't. What do 14-year-olds listen to? If they're not listening to her, they're probably listening to God knows what, like, rap song, and probably saying God knows, like, way worse stuff anyway.
I feel like rap is kind of falling off. So can we all like talk about that? Is rap falling off? I feel a lot of like pop, even country is popping
I was going to
off.
say rap's falling off and country's taking over. Because you know what? It kind of feeds into, like, I feel like streetwear is more like, well, streetwear is subjective, but like that, like, quintessential streetwear style has like fallen out more, and like that like old money like aesthetic like has come in. And also at the same time, not that country's like associated with that, but it's interesting that like also like it's just such a stark difference where they feel like country and rap are such a stark difference, and then they're like morphed together. It is interesting how it's like things come and things go.
Things come and things go. Because even me, right? Like the fits that I was wearing out there aren't necessarily things that I would have worn while I was home. And
Yeah.
I've had people notice that, like when I was posting on my stories, they were like, "Yo, what's up with your fit?" Like thinking that, not saying that it was bad, but they were just like, "Yo, like I've never seen you dress like that." You know, I had no logos, kind of baggy-ish pants, but then like tighter on the top with my little side bag. Like, I don't know. I feel like I was dressing different out there. And I did
in
fit
Paris, not one person was in sweats. Like, they
in.
don't.
No. When we got off the plane and we were in the Uber, they call it G7 out there, actually. Remember G7s everywhere?
Yeah, I don't like. I just still honestly don't understand.
Yeah.
but-
So they call it G7. But and when I was in the Uber or G7, whatever, and we get out and like I have my full sweat set on and I'm looking around like, yo, not a single person has sweats on, like anywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody wore sweats in Europe.
Yeah, even like on the planes and stuff, like they would wear like trousers.
They're in there in a suit. I'm like, bro, we're on a plane for 7 hours and you're wearing a suit. What's going on here? What are we doing?
Yeah, just definitely Americans are more casual.
No, for sure. So getting into that actually, because that's
Yeah,
like
let's go
such
through
a
the
difference.
pros and cons.
Let's do the pros and cons. I have it on my phone because while we were in Europe, we would like text each other things, and that was really fun. I was having fun
Yeah.
doing it because like random things would happen. Like starting off, what's the number one thing I feel like that happened a lot is the water bottles. That's like something just small. We'll start with the pros and the cons.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. So they have it where when you open a water bottle, when you twist the cap off, the cap stays attached to the water bottle, but you just flip it over. Like you untwist it, and when you untwist it, it just stays attached, and you can fully flip it so you can still drink out of it completely, but you don't have to like hold the cap, lose the cap. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, why don't we do that? Why wouldn't we do this? They did it in every country we went to.
Yeah, every country we were in, they did it, and honestly, I love it. I loved it because like I feel like in America, when we have our water bottles, like even think about this, right? Saratoga, shout out to you. When you open this up, right? Take the cap off. Now I'm responsible for this cap. What if I lose it? Now what? My water's exposed to what's flying around in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like over there, it would just stay attached and be on the top. And I was like, yo, this is so fire because I lose bottle caps a lot. That's something that you didn't know. I do.
Okay, fun fact. Fun fact, I lose bottle caps.
I do. It's annoying. So that was cool. I would definitely say that's a pro, is their water bottles, literally the caps stay attached.
It was just one of those things though where it's like, why don't we do that? Like I don't like why do they have that memo but we don't? It was just like when it just made sense, you know? You're like,
Yeah.
I never even thought of this as an option, but now that it is, like,
No, it definitely
What the
made
hell?
sense. It definitely made sense. One thing that was a con that we could talk about, or something that's just different, but I think is a con,
Right.
is the cars are so small over there.
okay, everything
Everything
so
is smaller
small.
in Europe. Everything.
Everything is so much smaller. The cars are smaller. The trunk space in the cars is smaller.
Mm-hmm.
The people are smaller. The roads are smaller.
The food portions, yo,
The portions are smaller.
so small.
Even for drinks, like if you got a soda or something, it was the like regular bottle size was like a third smaller, or like just the elevators were smaller, the bathrooms
The
were
bathrooms
smaller.
were so small. Everywhere we went, the bathrooms were just like, I literally was like, my knees were touching the wall everywhere we went.
Yeah, everything was smaller. Like literally just the portions were a quarter of the size.
Yo, it's so funny because the food portions, my brother texted me. I put on my Snap story and he texted me and goes, yo, bro, if I had that food portion, I would crash out. He was like, there's no way. And it is kind of true because I remember I ended up paying like $30 for like 4 raviolis that were like this big.
Okay, but they were like the best raviolis
Nah, they were
you ever had.
super good. But like $30 for 4 raviolis is like, bro, what do we do? I could have ate 5 of them and then I would have paid, you know what I'm saying, like $100 and something for raviolis.
Yeah. Yeah. It depended because I feel like sometimes that would be the case, but other times I'd be like, this is such a small portion. And then I'd be like perfectly full. And it was like the perfect portion. And it was like more filling than I realized, but I wasn't like overstuffed or like didn't have leftovers. Cause like at least at home, like in America, I would basically anytime we go out to eat, I'm eating like half and then I'm taking the other half home. Like I seriously rarely finish my whole meal when we're out to eat. But since we were traveling, I wouldn't have been able to wrap it up anyway. Like I would have, because we're walking around doing whatever. So it was like kind of nice to just like have the perfect portion and then like feel full and satisfied and then be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, honestly, taking home the leftovers is kind of annoying.
It's so annoying. I mean, it makes it more at home. It makes it more like, okay, I'm getting 2 meals out of my money's worth.
I don't have to spend as much. I get food for tomorrow. I hate leftovers though. So like for me, I never really like eat the leftovers. So
yeah, I eat your leftovers. You don't really eat them.
You do. You do.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at our thing here because we have a whole list of the pros and cons. The work culture we kind of talked about.
Wait, but before we switch, I want to finish talking about the size and how everything is smaller because the whole time we kept talking about how the roads are so small.
Yes.
And it would be impossible for the Cybertruck, wouldn't have even made it. Wouldn't have even made it down those streets. It literally, I think, would have gotten stuck.
The Cybertruck would not work in Europe. The fact that it's not, they don't manufacture it or produce it or let it be over.
Are they ever going to?
I think what Elon's going to do is they're going to make a smaller version of it.
I was going to say, if they do it, they have to make like a mini version.
Yeah, I think they're going to, so it could go over there. I don't know. I mean, right now with everything that's going on with Tesla, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But because the Cybertruck like production, apparently I just saw this thing today where they've produced 330,000 trucks, but only 300 and like, I could be totally off, but I think I'm pretty close. Like 310,000 have been like given to someone, like taken. So they just have like X amount of trucks just like sitting,
Oh,
so,
because there's been all like the controversy.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to go on, but I do see them in the future making like a something that's like a more compact, like Cybertruck version. That's what I think.
They would literally have to. They would literally have to. Like their cars are, the Cybertruck is 2 of their cars combined together.
Yeah. Oh,
it would not fit in the streets.
Honestly, maybe
it would not fit in the streets.
Those little smart like car
oh my
Fiat
God, the
things?
car we saw that was literally the size
of this chair.
Of the chair I'm sitting on.
Yeah.
It was 2 seats.
Yep. Not even. There was 1-seater cars.
I never in my life. It was literally the size of like a coffee table. Like it was like 2 seats and that was it. Like there was not even a trunk. There was like, how did the engine even fit in the car?
Yeah.
It was like, if you get in an accident, you are not living.
Yeah, you're not going to survive that.
Like I never in my life have seen something like that. It looked like a clown car. Like
It actually was a clown car. Like, I don't know how. I'm scared for the people if they've ever gotten in a car accident in one of those little cars because it's like.
Because they have to have them smaller because the roads are so small and then it's like.
And they're cobblestone. You're driving. Like, it's not good.
That's the thing. I feel like the cobblestone is a pro and a con because it's a pro in that like it's more beautiful to look at. It's more aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's more like just it has more life to it, whatever. But oh my God, if you have like a headache or your stomach hurts and you're like in a car and you're like, I have to get somewhere fast, like I'm not feeling the best. Holy shit. It feels like you are like off-roading at all times. It's
Well,
like insane.
You kind of know a little bit what that's like.
What?
Like not feeling good on the cobblestone roads in Europe.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing.
Are you trying to talk about
Just tell
my
the world.
experience
Just
at the
tell
airport?
the world what happened.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're trying to out me because you had to out yourself for shitting your pants everywhere you go. You're going to out me. Okay, well, I don't know what it was. I think maybe I was hungover? Question mark?
You had a couple.
But I was like maybe a little, but it wasn't like. But then, okay, so we had dinner at the Eiffel Tower. It was the most delicious
Oh, that's
meal.
a whole different topic. You're getting into something else. That was.
Well, you brought it up.
No. Was that the night after?
Yes, because we were going from Paris to
you
Milan.
were lit. Yeah, you were lit that night.
And so then we had a really rich dinner. I had a
Rich
few
dinner.
glasses of wine, but it was a really like the food was so
I
delicious.
thought you
but
had
it was
Aperol
like
Spritz.
no, I had wine.
Oh,
Came with it
maybe
was
you mixed them.
no, I don't think I had Aperol Spritz.
Oh.
I think I had just wine.
I thought you had Aperol Spritz everywhere we went.
I did mostly, but at that dinner it was really like
Nah, it was fancy,
It was
bro.
wine.
We ate dinner in the Eiffel Tower.
It was a really cool.
That was like one of the
experience.
coolest experiences ever.
Yeah, we like went into it when it was like sparkling. It
Sparkling,
was really cool.
yeah, no, I was sick.
And on
I'll
the
never
inside,
forget
they
that.
show you like the lights twinkling on the inside. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was one of the best meals I've ever had in my entire life.
It was really good.
But it was just like very rich. Like there was like some like lobster with some like sauce situation. It was so good. But then, and I had some wine, and then I didn't get enough sleep because then when we went home, we had to wake up. I think our Uber picked us up at like 6 a.m. to go back to the airport because we were going from Paris to Milan. So we flew from Paris to Milan, and I guess because I got such a lack of sleep, I was dehydrated. I had like this like rich food. I was probably a little hungover. I'm in the Uber. It was probably like a 40-minute drive to the airport or something.
Yeah, 45 minutes. I remember seeing the GPS.
Oh my God. And I was like in the car, I'm like starting to sweat. I'm like, oh no. This is not good. This is not good. I couldn't speak. I was just like, seriously, like, just like, you know, when you're so unwell that you're like praying to God, like, please just like, let me get through this. And you're like bargaining. You're like, I'll do anything you need. Like all those things that I never that I never did that I said
You're
I would
talking
do.
to
Like,
God for real.
You're literally like, please just let me get through this, like these next 30 minutes. Like, and I felt so car sick. And then I'm like, okay, once we get there, I'll get out. I'll get the fresh air. Like I'll feel better. We get out of the Uber at the airport, like pull up to the terminal. I open the door. I step out. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I don't feel better. I literally sprinted to the nearest garbage can outside and just like threw up multiple times.
Yeah.
Right at the terminal because
And I had no idea it was happening. Like, you know, it was early, so none of us were talking. It wasn't like I was
Yeah,
like,
it was like 7
something's
a.m.
up.
at that
Yeah,
point.
it was like at that point, maybe even earlier. And I'm like, okay, I'm scrolling TikTok. I actually on TikTok found this live that was going on of somebody that was like drawing the caricatures or whatever it's called. That was so funny. But yeah, we didn't speak. The second you get out, you run over to the garbage and just start yakking. I'm like, what's going on?
oh my God, it was seriously horrible. The whole dinner in the garbage.
The
Like
fact that you didn't yak in the Uber though, or G7, I keep calling it, whatever it's called.
Uber's fine.
Uber's great, yeah, right? We Uber everywhere. But the fact that you didn't yak in there, thank God.
No,
That
I
would've
really,
sucked.
I really didn't think I was going to actually throw up because I'm someone who like kind of gets car sick in the sense where I feel nauseous in cars if it's like a windy road or whatever. But I like never actually throw up. I just feel car sick. So when I actually threw up, I was like, oh no. And then I had to get on the plane. Thankfully, it's a very short plane ride. But oh my God, it was terrible. And then all I was thinking was how you were watching that live of the guy who was doing the sketches of like people in front of them, except he was like making fun of the people and did like a sketch like making fun of them. And I wanted to see the end, but I couldn't look at the phone because like, you know, when you're feeling car sick and you can't look at the phone. So I was like, all I could think after I threw up was, what was the end? What was the end? Like, what was the reveal? Like, did the girl get mad that he made her look so stupid? And you said she didn't even care though.
Yeah, they didn't even care. But speaking of getting sick in Europe, I did like how they had those pharmacies that like had the green plus sign everywhere.
Yeah, so let's go back through the pros and cons.
Yeah, no,
So-
we're here. We're talking about it. We're right in there. But it's that green pharmacy sign was pretty cool. Like if you thought anything, you know, if you needed something that, you know.
For you, as somebody who gets like just whenever we go anywhere, you're like, where's the nearest hospital? Literally. Literally, when I booked this, you're like, are we staying by a hospital? Where's the nearest hospital? Like everywhere we go. And so
just in case, man, you never know what's going on.
Yeah. But so for anyone who's not been to Europe before, they have basically in all the different countries.
I mean, it's not a hospital though.
No, but they have like the pharmacies, like instead of like say a CVS, it must be a chain, like I don't know, but it just says whatever it is in that language.
Just a plus sign.
I wonder. Yeah, I actually wonder like if that's a chain or if that's just something by like I don't know. I want to say the government, like I don't know.
Maybe the government.
Maybe that's like a stupid question, but it's in multiple like different countries. It's not just like in one place.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because think it was in Paris, it was in
right.
in Milan,
Yeah.
and it's like a green blinking plus sign, but it sticks out from outside
street.
the
Yeah,
wall,
like
so you can see from the street, like you can see where the nearest one is, and so it makes it so much easier because then you know how to find it so much, especially when you're not familiar with the area. Like around here, okay, I know where the CVS is or I know where the Walgreens or something, but when you're not from there, it's super nice to be like, oh look there, I need
green
to go get
sign.
this, and you can get a lot of stuff. Another pro, you can get a lot of stuff over the counter there that like here you would need like a prescription for or certain things. Yeah, certain medications and even certain like skincare and stuff that's like a little bit more affordable there. That here might be a bit more expensive. I guess it depends like what the brand is. If it's more of a European brand.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Even speaking on like the different pros and cons too, the work culture, like we were saying, Sunday we wanted to go to the NBA store because it was right next to where we were, and it was closed on Sunday. Like it was Chick-fil-A.
Yep. Yeah, and you were so pissed. I was sad too because it looked really cool. But yeah, a lot of places just close on Sunday or specific hours, and it's like they're closed. Goodbye. They don't
Another
care.
thing in Europe, everybody smokes cigarettes. What is good with that?
Yeah, and a lot of vapes.
Well, vapes too. I did see a lot of vapes, but cigarettes, like specifically,
especially in Paris, a lot of cigarettes.
Everybody was smoking cigs, bro. I'm just like, it's 2025.
And just ashtrays all over the tables.
Yeah, like you go to a restaurant, it comes stock with an ashtray. I'm like,
yeah.
What are we doing smoking cigarettes in 2025? Like,
okay, but somehow they're still gonna live longer than us because their food isn't poisoned. So
okay, we're talking about that too. That's a great topic because the food over there is in Europe is just like on a different level. Like everything tasted better. Everything was more fresh. Like America needs to get it together. Make America healthy again, maybe. I don't know, but it's like whatever.
No, but I just don't understand why can I drink a Coca-Cola over there without having like poison?
Bro, it tasted amazing.
Yeah, versus here I have to have like what do they even like seriously the ingredients?
Cleans toilets.
Coca-Cola literally takes the paint off cars.
Yeah.
Like it's like crazy. And it's like it tastes better. And their bottles, like how we were talking about the portions before, their regular bottles are smaller.
And they're glass.
Everything's glass.
Yep, everything's glass.
It's so nice.
But like Coca-Cola, right? I don't drink that over here. Yeah. Rarely. Maybe like once a year. Like I do not drink Coke. And I went to Europe and I drank Coke like every day just because it tasted better. It had less ingredients. And like, it just felt like it went with everything you were eating over there. So I don't know. Like I said, America, Europe is just years and years ahead when it comes to the food. In Milan, Italy, the pasta banging, the bread was banging, the desserts, the tiramisu,
bread
everything
was just like soft. Like even in the airport, like even when you're getting like bottom tier, like shitty food, the bread was still always like so soft and so like fresh.
Remember the baguette we had in Paris in the airport? Like you would think that would have been like, like something
It was
quick.
better than like any bread I've had in America.
Amazing.
It was crazy.
So good.
It was like the ham and cheese.
Ham, cheese, and a baguette. Like it was just so simple. But over there, because the food just has better ingredients, it just tasted so fresh.
It's just less processed.
Yeah.
So I feel like they can get away with like smoking cigarettes more because it's like their cigarettes probably have better, like less crap in it too.
No,
like,
100%.
honestly.
They probably are just tobacco, not with all of like the other bullshit, the poison that's in ours.
Because they have more laws. Like they have laws. Like I'm pretty sure that like isn't like Red 40 dye.
Yeah, the
like,
FDA or whatever
there?
it's called. It's the FDA, I think.
That's what it is in America. It's something different.
But that over there is like
Yeah.
actually on top of their shit. The FDA over here doesn't care about us. They just want to make money. You
Well,
know?
yeah, exactly. Because it's all the FDA is like in bed with the government, in bed with like it's all just.
Well, yeah, they all make money
It's all
together.
corrupt.
But speaking of one thing that actually sucked over there, at least in France, the water.
Oh,
They only had mineral water. What is that?
okay. This is like a gripe I've had with France for a while.
But you can't because you just been to France so many times.
Okay, well, I've been a few times, and I remember one.
Wait, have you been multiple times?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I remember, I didn't even know. When I went the last time I was there, like not the time we just were, I was there for like, it was like a really like long layover. And I got there and I remember I had gotten off this flight where I was like, it was a long flight. I was like so dehydrated and tired. And I was like, it was the middle of the summer. I'm like, I'm dying of thirst. Like, I just need water so badly. Like, the second I get off this plane, I'm finding the first place in the airport, getting water, chugging it. And I get off, I go to get this water, I start drinking it. I'm like, why does this taste like literal, like, saliva? Like,
my God.
It was like so gross. It was like lukewarm and just tasted like, ugh. And it's
lukewarm.
'cause
That's I noticed in Europe, everything is
there's no ice.
there's no ice
yeah.
and everything's warm.
Yeah. No ice, which is like a con. And yeah, in France specifically, Italy's not like that, or other countries, but in France specifically, they don't really have much spring water. They have a lot of mineral water. Like Evian, I would say, is like their biggest, probably like one of their main water brands. And that one's like okay, but Evian's mineral water. It's not spring water. And people might think that you don't notice a difference, but I'm telling you, you do. Like, it's mineral water. It's like, it's fine, but it tastes like saliva. Like, honestly, it's not fine.
That's
like,
not good.
It's not good. Evian, I can tolerate. That one's like the best version, but some of them are really terrible.
Ugh.
Versus spring water, it just tastes like more like alive and crisp.
Well, you know what?
Oh my God, I
Speaking of
missed it.
spring water, I'll tell you my two favorite waters.
Oh, now
number
now that
one-
we're on trend, we have a new favorite
Number
water.
one is Saratoga, okay? And this is in no order. I'm just going to give you my two favorites. Saratoga still, I don't like the sparkling really, but natural spring water, it's amazing. My other favorite water is what?
Poland Spring.
Oh my God, that was disrespectful.
Essentia?
Essentia, yes.
But Essentia isn't spring water.
I know, but it's really good water.
Yeah. My favorite, I love Aquapana. I drink that a lot in
Aquapana's
Italy.
good. They have the glass bottles too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are good.
That and that's what I feel like
We
is
had
the
that in
most,
Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Italian. It's from Tuscany. So I feel like it's
Okay, go off with your education.
Well, I'm just saying. So it's from there. That's why it's more of it there. And that was good after having literal saliva water for
Ugh,
the whole time
stop
we were in
saying
France.
it. Stop it.
Did you not feel like that? I feel like it tasted
trash.
like
It was trash.
saliva.
I just wasn't trying to complain because like we were thirsty at the time. Like we hadn't had water all day, and I was like,
But do
all
you
right.
notice how I had that water bottle all day because I couldn't finish it because it was
Yeah,
saliva.
which isn't like you. You usually run
Exactly,
through your
because it
water.
was gross.
Yeah.
It was not good. So yeah, that's the other thing. They don't have the best water in France. Not all of Europe, just France specifically.
Yeah.
They must sell spring water somewhere. I had to maybe
They
search
had to
harder.
at
But
some point. Like we went into some stores at night, like to get like snacks and stuff. They definitely had. They had
maybe. Yeah, but the other thing is we were kind of okay with the no ice because
Yeah.
we were there in kind of like the spring. But when we're back in the summer, I mean, that's going to be annoying because they'll give you ice, but you have to like very
Ask for it.
specifically ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like even when I was on the plane, she was like, when they come around, do you want whatever? And I got something, I think it was water. And I was like very like just wanting like a cold, like refreshing.
Oh yeah, you had to
And then-
ask for ice.
Yeah, because then they just brought it to me just plain, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
that you're gonna bring
It's
me."
so
at,
funny
like,
because growing up, my mom always called my brother European because
he
we would
hated
go
ice?
to McDonald's and he would say no ice. Like always, he always had no ice. He didn't like ice. I don't know why. It's kind of weird.
I kind of like my water room temperature, but sometimes when you just need like the
You need that cold.
refreshing, like
Yeah.
and then it's like ugh, like it's just the worst.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So pros and cons we kind of went through. There's
We forgot one of the most important
ones?
for you. after everything we've been discussing.
Oh my gosh.
How could you forget?
The bathroom pods.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bathroom pods. That was so fire. I've never seen anything like that. It really was only in Paris. I didn't see it in Italy.
They do have in other countries. It might have just been,
Like
I don't know if it
Milan?
was just Milan. Like
Yeah.
that was my first time in Milan, but I have seen it in other places. I don't know like if it's specific to certain cities, but yeah.
Yo, so speaking, if you guys, I didn't really give too much background, but we were in Paris walking around. What was that park that we went to?
The Edinburgh Gardens, I think.
Yes. So we're at this park. I kind of felt like I started, I got to go to the bathroom. And literally on the side of the road, on the sidewalk, there's these pods that you can pay like €1,
yeah.
a little coin, throw it in there. And this bathroom, it was like so futuristic. It like opened up like the door sideways and like mechanical. It was crazy looking. But yeah, for €1, you could just go in the bathroom and just use the bathroom. No line, no nothing. It was clean in there. I was like, okay, that's pretty fire. That was really cool.
I feel like after what we talked about last episode, where
Mm-hmm.
you were like my number one fear, and we talked about it this episode too, it's just like being able to go to the bathroom and like, what
Yeah,
if
that
like
was
I don't
sick.
like traveling because what if I have to go to the bathroom, I can't find anywhere to go? It's like that's meant for you. Like
Yeah, it was right there. Like it made me feel like, okay, I don't have to worry about
you
it.
don't have
It's
to
right
pay
here.
someone $200 to cut the line.
Exactly. So that definitely was one of the biggest ones. Is there any other ones that we're forgetting?
I don't think the only other main thing that I feel like was a pro versus con was just kind of like when thinking of, I feel like for us, since we're from New York, like we compared the cities to like New York City. So I feel like when thinking of it that way, it was like Paris is so much more beautiful than like,
Yeah.
and Europe is just so much older and like there's so much more of a rich history than there is in like New York City. And so when we were in like Paris, especially you seeing it for the first time, I feel like you were like, wait, why is every single building like so stunning?
Oh my God, it was beautiful.
Like even just the doors at like the most irrelevant building ever were like more beautiful than like any door I've seen in America, like just such detail, such like so much history in it.
Yeah.
And just very clean. Like everything
Oh,
was
it was
so clean.
So clean. And like the two other things too that I remember, I just looked at my phone. We're going to get back to that because that kind of transitions to what I want to say next.
Yeah.
But two things that also stood out. The receipts had no BPA.
Oh yes, thank you
Yep.
for saying that.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, like what is up with this country? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like why do we have to have receipts that have BPA?
It's population control, okay? America wants us all to die. So they put all this bullshit in everything that we have. Like in the receipt, I can't touch a receipt, bro, without some chemical
no, and then
coming
they
into me.
wonder why we're all like infertile. Like
Yeah,
I just,
that or like the ADHD, autism, all types of like running rampant throughout the country is because you put bullshit in everything we eat. America does not love us.
America does not love us.
Anyway, sorry, I had to get that off my chest. We might have to clip that, but but speaking into what I want to say next, because it's a very good transition into what we got going on here. What stood out to you the most while we were there? And we have some things written down that I know one of my favorite things, a couple of them. We talked about eating dinner in the Eiffel Tower. That was so sick.
Yeah.
An experience that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
In Paris, the Louvre.
Yeah. That
Going
was
to the
really
Louvre,
cool.
The museum,
Seeing our girl Mona.
Mona Lisa for the first time, or for the first time. Some people never see her, but seeing Mona Lisa in person
Yeah.
was like super cool because I feel like, growing up in America, you still know who that is. There's movies where people steal the Mona Lisa. You know what I
What
mean?
was cool about it too, which is like not the actual Mona Lisa, but something I found super interesting was like seeing the guard of like how it's protected. Like
Yeah.
it was like the centerpiece of the room, and then like you could see that next to it there's like all this like glass covering it, whatever, and it's all like guarded off. But then you could tell like when the museum closes down, there's like these walls that go in, cover it, thing that goes down, it gets pushed back. Like so interesting to see like the mechanisms of how it would like go back into.
Yeah, no, that was no joke. There was
protected.
definitely like a security, like super high security, like guarded, like it definitely had like metal gates that like closed it and went down. Like it was crazy. So that was cool to see.
It was also cool to experience that, I feel like, at an age where you can appreciate it. Because I was talking to my mom about how, like, if you were to go when you're, like, 12 or something, you'd be like, okay,
And
cool.
she did. She went at
she
that
was
age.
saying that. Yeah, she went when she was younger. But it's, like, going at, like, an age where you can actually appreciate it was nice because it's, like, it's a museum, so I feel like it can be boring if you're
As
not
a
like
kid,
old
yeah.
enough. Even as an adult, it's like, okay, I don't need to spend like 8 hours in there. Like,
But you
let
could,
me-
though. It was so big.
Oh my god! Apparently, what did they say?
It was like 9 miles or something.
Something insane like that. Yeah, like miles and miles. Like it, because I mean, I was kind of learning when we were there too. Like people think it's that glass triangle that I
Yeah.
feel like is the like quintessential like photo, which it is, but it's also like all these buildings around
Under the
it. You
ground,
go under
yeah,
the
it's-
ground. It's really crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they had paintings in there that were from like 1200.
Yeah.
Like it was one of the first paintings ever. I was reading it on the way out.
Yeah.
And I was just like mind blown at like how you could tell in that room it was like colder to like
Yeah.
preserve what was going on. But yeah, that place was sick. The Duomo in
in
Milan
Milan was really cool.
was beautiful. We did the
Yeah.
whole tour of like going inside of it and the architect there and like just how it was just so beautiful. in there.
Yeah.
Like you
it was just cool how like again, like I think we compare everything to New York City, and New York City's really cool in its own right, or I compare it to like Boston or other cities that like I've been to. And those are super cool cities too. But it's just crazy in comparison to like American cities that like when you're in Milan, for example, like if you were to live there, you're just having lunch next to this like the most stunning piece of architecture like ever. Like it's like something that took like 1,000 years to build or like 800 years.
Remember we asked Meta, it took 600 years to build the Duomo.
Yes, 600 years. That's insane. And it's just like so beautiful and it's just there, you know, like the same way like the Empire State Building will be, but like the Duomo is obviously way more stunning than the Empire
And it's
State
like a
Building.
historical
no
piece
offense.
of like
yeah.
history, you
And
know?
it's so much older. Like everything, I think that's like one of the major takeaways I had was like everything is just so much older because America is just a newer country.
I guess so, right? Yeah, that's how it works. I don't know. So
That's how it works.
Between dinner at the Eiffel Tower, Duomo, Louvre, Mona Lisa, all that. We actually ate dinner on that boat that like went around
That
the
was
Eiffel
cool,
Tower
yeah.
too. That was super cool.
And I didn't know that there's like a little Statue of Liberty
In Paris,
by the Eiffel Tower.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter, we touched on. That was really cool too. Like going
Yeah.
to her concert in a different country. And then last but not least, seeing our wedding venue
Yeah, that was really nice.
was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So it lived up to you were happy with
yeah,
it?
Yeah, you killed it. You killed it.
Good.
I will say it's different. It's super different. And it did like going into it did kind of scare me a little. Like we're in the middle of nowhere, but it's like so beautiful and it's going to be such a beautiful time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so special at the same time. And that venue, they absolutely kill it. It's just like, they're just great people and they're happy. And I'm just, happy to marry you in such a beautiful place.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, the people that it's run by are so awesome. They're just like, they have such a cool story. They care so much. It's like they redid the whole thing from nothing, basically.
Yeah.
And I've been running it for like 20 years. It's like so cool, the whole story. So it was really nice to see in person. And it's another main thing I feel like I realized from the trip. I mean, I already knew, but even more it cemented it is like pictures just don't do things justice.
Nah, they really don't. Pictures
Like-
do not do things justice over there.
You'd even just like you'd be staring at it. You go to take the photo and you're like, this photo sucks. Like this looks so beautiful and this photo looks like ass. Like I
Yeah.
can't like
Yeah,
capture.
but at the same time, like looking back on it, I looked through my phone. Like even last night before I went to sleep, I was looking and I was like, God damn, like that is crazy. But I know what you mean because like seeing the actual like it with your own two eyes is like a different.
Yeah.
It's just different.
It's really cool. Yeah, yeah.
It's just different.
For sure.
But yeah, overall, Europe trip was great, amazing, beautiful. it was good to like disconnect off the phone too. I know I talked about that earlier in the episode, but it was great to disconnect. I am a little sick when it comes to work, and it did.
Yeah, it was good.
Put things into perspective for me. I mean, I do have to grind harder now than ever, which I'll always feel like you said, it's never going to be enough. You're always going to want more, but it put things into perspective for me, and I did come home more motivated.
Oh my God, the second that we got off the plane, you're like, okay, I have to go. I have to do things. I have to go
And
here.
I did.
I have to go there.
And
I'm
I
like,
did.
I will be sleeping
You
for the
literally
next
slept
24
all day.
hours.
I was out and about. I did things. I got some content done. I went live. I moved all around.
No, ever since we got back, because we didn't even talk about that, but like very quickly, the jet lag and the time difference.
Oh, we
like,
have to. That's one thing. Yeah,
I
glad
feel
you
like
said
it takes like it took at least like 3 or so days to like adjust.
Nah,
so
fuck that. I'm still not. That's one thing. I'm tight that we waited this long into the episode, but if you made it this far, we love you. Thank you. That should have been talked about way earlier, because I think for the first 5 days while we were there, what, 9 days?
Yeah.
For the first 5 or 6 of them, I might have slept 3 hours a night, if that.
Because so when you go to Europe from America, you then go 6 hours ahead. So or 5 hours, depending upon the time of year. They're 5 hours ahead of us right now. So like when we got there, it would be like, say 3 a.m, but it would feel like it was 10 p.m. our time. So like it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning in Paris, and you're like, I'm not tired yet because maybe I go to bed at midnight or something. But then it's 3 a.m. and then you're like, fuck, I still need to wake up and like enjoy the day. So it's like a whole tricky thing. And then when we came back on the flight, it's like our flight left at 8:30 p.m. Paris time, but then we got home at 11:50 New York time because you get the 5 hours back.
Yeah.
And so then I was like,
So it was really 8-hour flight, but it didn't feel like it because you got the hours back.
yeah, it's weird.
Like
but then
it was a 4-hour flight.
But then
it was,
ever since now, for the past 3 days or however many days since we've been back, I've been going to bed at literally 8 o'clock. Now it's past my bedtime.
It is past our
We're
bedtime.
filming late tonight, and it's past my bedtime because I have been going to sleep at 8 o'clock since we got back. And I was like, honestly, I've been going to sleep at 8 and waking up at like 5.
Yo, dead ass. You were up at 5 a.m. today feeding Moon. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's kind of good.
No, it is. I think we should still be on it, even though it is past our bedtime right now. I think we should go home, go to sleep, and just stay on that early flow, because it is better. And my boy Ashton Hall wakes up at 4:30 in the morning and dives into his pool and puts water in his face. So I think if we want to be successful as can be, rich mentally, spiritually, and physically, then we should just start waking up early and dumping our face in water. And
right.
yeah, that's what we can do. So, I mean, Europe overall was amazing. I had a great time being out there with you. Traveling with my person in this life was just great. And I feel like, I can say it. I would love to travel more with you.
Wow, you heard it here first. You
Yeah.
heard it here first.
Yeah.
I'm shocked because I haven't heard the end of it. For the past 5 months has been, why are we doing this? Oh my God.
I mean, I'll probably bitch and complain about it, but I still would love to go experience the world with you.
Wow. Oh my God. That makes me so happy. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's that. And I think that we talked about it. And now we're going to get into how we end every single episode. We got some questions for you guys, Q&A. I need you guys to get active on the socials. If I haven't said it before, I'll say it again. My @ is Bobby Souls. Our pod is Life Itself Pod. Brittany is Brit X Jane, right? Or is it Brittany X Jane?
Honestly.
Oh, it's Brittany X Jane. Brittany X Jane, because you had, a couple of socials with different names. You just started that back up. But we have our 3 socials. You guys can listen on Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube. So make sure to do that. But yeah, get at us on those socials so, these Q&As get a little easier for us, because you guys ask some basic ass questions.
Oh
and,
my God. So rude.
At least on
thought these ones were
on
good.
my social. Yeah, these were good. But sometimes it's just like, what's your favorite sneaker? How many shoes do you have? And I'm just like, those are great questions, but like, there's no way, like, you guys got to think deep a little.
Yeah, we want to go a little deeper.
A little deeper than that. So yeah, we're going to start off with number 1, coming in from your sister, which I thought was a great
from my
question.
sister? Okay.
Yeah, Jay asked this. She said, if you / Brit were from Europe How do you think you would have met, and where would you be from?
Wait, this is so funny that this is a question because I actually just in my head today was thinking like what you would be like if you were like had your same parents, same family, same like everything, except like you just like lived in like Italy or something.
Yeah.
And like what would be different about you? Like what would be different about your fashion sense and your personality and like your whatever. So it's funny that this is the question because I was just thinking about that today.
I feel like everything would be different.
Yeah.
Everything.
Okay, where do you think we'd be from? Or you'd be from or we'd both be from?
I mean, you'd be from Italy.
I'd be from Italy. Where would you be from?
The UK.
Oh, okay, we have to go there at some point because that's like where you've always wanted to go.
Yeah, I love the UK. I have a special connection to it.
We have to look at your maybe we could do like an episode one day about that. Like we have to look at like your astrocartography.
Yeah, I mean, I know that like my ancestors are from over there.
You do?
Yeah, my mom did like she spit into the cup and sent it
Oh
out to
my
whatever.
God.
Yo, shout out to my mom, bro. She's into it. What is it called? Ancestry.com.
We have to look at your astrocartography, which is like the astrology of place, and
Yeah.
see if you have like certain
There has to be because anytime
lines.
Central C talks, I just feel connected. So shout out to my boy Sench, bro.
Sench.
Sench.
Is that what they call him?
Yeah, Sench.
You just made that up?
No, Central C, Sench.
Do people really say
People
that?
call
Or
him
that's
Sench,
like your
yes.
pet name for him?
No, he's Big Sench. Like,
Big Sench? People say that? That's like a real thing.
Sench!
That's real though? Or
That's
you're making it up?
real.
Okay.
Shout out to Central C, man.
Right.
Anyway, all right. So I would be from the UK, you'd be from Italy, and how we would have met? I mean, over there,
I
feel
like
you-
to think we would have met the same way.
Yeah, me too. Because any other way, it just doesn't feel right because we're so unique and we have such like
We're
a
so
cool
unique.
story,
We're not
but-
like other girls.
I mean, maybe on a farm or something. I don't know. Anyway, number 2. This one is more directed towards me. It says, what still keeps you in the sneaker game after all of these years? I'll be honest, man. I might have to drink water for this one, bro, because it's like every
Rough in these streets.
every single day I contemplate about tapping out of the game, bro. And not even in that way. I'll always create content around it because at this point, to answer your question, what keeps me in the game is I've built a brand around talking about sneakers, creating outfits around sneakers, giving my opinions, first looks, everything about sneakers. And yes, I will always be Bobby Souls, but there's more to me than just that. And I feel like getting older, growing, and just evolving as a person has made me like, I don't know. I'm up to like, I think 400 pairs of sneakers now. And I'm like, how much longer, like how many more do I need, bro? I probably wear maybe like 10 pairs like in rotation and the rest of them just sit in a box. So at this point, what keeps me in the game is that it's my brand and it's been part of who I am for such a long time that it's like, I just got to keep it going, you know? But I will say I am going to be selling a lot of my collection, possibly on Depop, maybe on Whatnot. I don't know which one yet, but I will be selling some pairs soon because I can't have 400 pairs anymore.
Also, I feel like you're not acknowledging that what part of what keeps you in it is that like you do love it.
Yeah, that was actually kind of sad the way I just worded that. But
Like you're like upset, like don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like when a sneaker comes out, you're like, oh my gosh, this release, like this history of this, and like Jordan wore this from this game and then this release in this year, and it's like the sole on this one is this, and then the suede here and the leather here and this thing there and this one that, and I had this was my second pair, and I went down here and I got it with my mom from this and that, and the other thing, you have this whole backstory for like 6 hours that you could go
Yeah.
on and on and on. Like you love
no,
it.
I love it. I will always, don't get it twisted. I will always love sneakers, always. I'm Bobby Souls, bitch. But it's like, I don't know. It's changed. It's changed for I would say there's pros and cons to it. The game has changed and it's not a bad thing. I will always love it though. I have sneakers tattooed on me. I'm Bobby Souls. So I'll always love it. But I just, keeping me in the game, I'm still very heavily in the game. So it's like,
Yeah, it's just hard because I feel like, honestly, the internet like kind of
Yeah.
ruined it because it's
Oh,
like
100%.
yeah, and things like StockX and all that stuff and just like reselling and like all that stuff. But it's still the history of it, I feel like, is why you love it and
Yeah.
why you come back to it. It's not even about like, yeah, putting together an outfit. That's cool and obviously fun and you like to do that and the shoes are the key piece of the outfit. But I feel like for you, at least from my perspective, it's like you really love like the story and the
Yeah.
history of the shoe and like the nostalgia that comes with the shoe and like what it meant to you at an age when you didn't even think it was fathomable to like even have this shoe. And then like now you can have so many different ones and it was so desirable but not like easily attainable. And I think that's part of why it's the whole nother
No,
episode,
that's
but
true
why-
too. That's true too. And like, you know, I've built a career off of my love for sneakers. So it's like, you know, that's it. I always love them. I always collect them. And yeah, I'll never stop. I'll always love them. But I do have to downsize because I just have way too many.
Yeah, I think it's about being more selective with the ones that like really have that deep meaning and then the ones that don't, like letting those go to someone who will be able to really like cherish
Appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, moving on. We have a couple other ones. This is for me and you. If you and Britt could give any piece of advice on traveling together as a couple, what would it be?
Oh, I like that question considering everything. Well, you go first.
I would say being patient is definitely one thing. Not even in a way of like, oh, I had to be so patient with you, but just like, I think understanding like while traveling, so many different things can go wrong. So many different things can happen like that you didn't expect. So I think staying patient, calm, and understanding of each
Yeah.
other is like super big while traveling with your significant other. I think those are probably my three things, you know?
What were the other two?
What do you mean?
Patient, understanding.
Being patient, understanding. What did I say?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
I think staying calm. Like
Calm? Okay.
staying
Yeah.
calm. Like don't let the pressure of things or like the unexpectedness of
Yeah.
things like get to you. You know, you
I
gotta
think
roll with
that's-
just flow.
Yes, exactly. I think that with your partner, like as a couple, but also just traveling with friends, traveling with family, traveling with anybody, my number one piece of advice would be kind of what you said, like being like going with the flow. Like I just feel like when you travel, I've traveled a decent amount and I feel like what I've learned from it is like you couldn't go anywhere in the world if you're not with like the right people. You could be in the most beautiful place. If you're not with the right people, in the right mindset, in the right mood, having a certain experience, like it doesn't matter where you are, you could be like so miserable. And it's a lot about like letting it just kind of the cards fall where they may. And I think sometimes like for trips especially, like you put so much effort and you're like, we're going to go to this place and like you build it up in your head and it's going to be like this whole experience and like you see things on social media and they look a certain way and like you have it just so built up like it's going to be the image on social media in reality. And in reality, it's never that. It's always something different. And then it's like, you're like, oh wait, what? Like I thought I was going to feel this way and then I didn't, or like this
Yeah.
person wanted to do this thing and
The
and I
pressure.
didn't.
It's so like don't put pressure on things when
Yeah.
you're traveling. Just enjoy the experience.
And just let it like just be easygoing because a lot of like those best moments are in the moments where you weren't expecting. Like when
Yeah.
we were in Paris, it was my sister's birthday for one of the days that we were there and she really wanted to have dinner by the Eiffel Tower and that was something that like was like important to her. We were like, what do you want to do? And because of whatever reason we couldn't get the right reservation at this place that we wanted to go to. And she was kind of like unsure of what was going to happen and feeling a little like maybe flustered or whichever. And I was explaining to her like, listen, like, let's just let like the chips fall where they may. It's like the best moments when you're traveling end up being those experiences that you weren't expecting. And then we were at like a cafe and we decided we wanted to stay out until dinner. And that was when we found like this random like speakeasy bar that was like hidden
that was
in this
sick.
hotel. And we had to like walk through like 3 different restaurants in order to like go down this like secret doorway. And like it was so like vibey and like such a cool like mood in there. And they made like these own signature cocktails, and they had ones that had like CBD in them, and like so cool. And we hung out there and just talked for a few hours, and
Like
then
4 or 5 hours we were in
yeah,
there.
it was so fun. And then that night we ended up going somewhere else for dinner. I don't even remember where. And it was somewhere good. But then the next night, I remember now. The next night we ended up getting a reservation in the Eiffel Tower, which we wouldn't have done if we had eaten by the Eiffel Tower. But because we couldn't get the reservation we wanted that night, we ended up saying, you know what, fuck it, like let's go eat in the Eiffel Tower. And it was like a once in a lifetime experience. Like I feel like we're always going to look back and be like, that was so sick. Like it was one of my favorite nights of the whole trip. We had the best waiter. We had the most fun time. Like the food was delicious. And it was like, because you just go with the flow, we had all these different experiences that maybe we wouldn't have had if we went by like the quote unquote plan.
Yeah.
And so I think that's like the best piece of advice is like, if things don't go how you think they're going to go, like just let it settle, because it ends up usually being its own experience. And then you look back and like, those are some of the fondest memories when you weren't necessarily like expecting it. Whereas if you're too rigid sometimes, then you can get in a mood and you're like, oh, the night's ruined, or this is ruined. And then you miss out on all these potentials of like what could have been.
No, definitely. I love that. You said that so just well. Like don't get so worked up about things, and just go with the flow when you're traveling. I feel like that's, those experiences, like you said, we would have never made if we just were like, you know what, we can't do it, let's just go home. We made around it, just going with the flow. So,
and it's like people are going to want to do different things, especially when you're in a group of people. It's like you have to just be understanding, because there's a lot of personalities, a lot of different things. So when it comes to a partner, same thing. Like maybe you wanted to go somewhere and I wanted to go somewhere else, and it's about kind of like compromising and being chill, not being so rigid.
yeah.
Because everyone's out of their comfort zone. You're in a different time zone. You're in a different place. You're not going to feel 100% comfortable, and you have to just kind of like lean into that rather than like get rigid and like be like, this is my way, and get all like upset about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then our last one here I thought was pretty cool. Throughout all of your different stages of life, how have you stayed together, happy, and healthy as a couple? And I feel like, honestly, that's pretty similar to what we just said. But I'll let you go. What do you think about that?
Through all of our stages of life, how have we stayed happy and healthy as a couple?
Yeah, like maintained staying happy, healthy, and
Yeah, I feel like it has a lot to do, similar to like you're saying, with being understanding and being like, and expecting change, expecting growth, and like embracing it, and not like pushing it away or wanting someone to remain the same. I feel like as people who have been together for like multiple decades, basically at this point, and like I've seen you through being like an adolescent, through being a teenager, to young adult, to like a full-blown adult, and I'm like, we're gonna continue to see each other grow through life until like we're like grandparents, which is crazy
to think. Now I'm Unc.
Yeah, oh my God.
Now I'm Unc. Anyway,
right. I've seen you from an adolescent to an Unc.
Yeah.
And it's like, to go through that, it's like, of course you're gonna change. And I think something scary of being in a long-term relationship is like, how do we grow at the same rate? How do we change at the same rate? Because sometimes people evolve and change at different rates. And then one person's over here, the other person's over there. And you're like, oh shit, like we've all of a sudden we've grown apart. So it can be really difficult to grow at the same, like kind of like parallel pace. And I think that the key to that happening is being able to appreciate the changes that you see in your partner, and being able to like embrace them and acknowledge them. But also like, if you see something that, if I see something that you're doing, like a change that you have, and it's maybe a a new interest you have, like I also want to take interest in it. You know, I want to like embrace that. I don't want to be like, oh, you never used to like this. Like, why do you like this now? You know, I want to be open to it and encourage it because it's like something as you're trying to grow, I want to be open to that growth too. I think sometimes it can be like triggering for as a couple. It's like that can be like your biggest mirror sometimes. So if someone else wants to make a change and they're really close to you in your life, if you're maybe not ready to evolve or change in that way, then it can be like really triggering to like look at and be like, oh, this person's so close to me. I spend every day with them and they're doing this, but I don't want to do that. So like you get
most
resentful.
people are afraid of change too. So it's like, you know, or not even, yeah, I guess afraid is the right word, but most people are afraid of change, don't know how to really embrace change or also just deal with change. So I feel like, you know, like you said, being open-minded to that and like wanting to take interest in whatever it is that change is because, you know, let's face it, as you grow older together and, you know, we went from little kids to one day grandparents. That's wild to think. But, you know, so much is going to change in that time. So I do think being, you know, open-minded and also keeping, I know people use this like a lot, but like keeping the spark. I feel like when like you're like being playful and like not taking everything so serious and not like, you know, letting the little things get to you. And like you said, I think understanding is such like an important word because that's what you really have to be. Communication, obviously, we've spoken on this in other episodes already, and we will continue to because communication is like such an important thing in a relationship. So yeah, understanding, communication, playful.
Yeah, I like that you said playful because I think that that's true. I think sometimes it just gets like so serious and it gets so, I think the thing about us is like, even if we get in arguments a lot of times or like just not even an argument, but just like a stupid, like I'm in a bad mood, you're in a bad mood. And then like, it's just easy to take it out on the person closest to you. Like we'll then come back together and like, we'll laugh about it of like.
Always so quick too.
I think I literally, did that today.
You did it this morning. Yeah, you did it this morning. And you came back down.
Oh yeah.
You got upset at something at work. You came back. You like kind of snapped at me and I was like, okay, she's tweaking right now. So let me just like go over there. And you came back after your meeting and you were like, I'm sorry, I was being stupid. And I was like, yeah, I know you were, but I didn't say that to you in my head. I'm like, yeah, you were, but it's okay. You know?
Yeah, like I was stressed about, I had a meeting that I was really stressed about and I was just like, things were going wrong and whatever. And so I was just like being very snappy. But then the second it ended and I felt better, I like was like, I'm sorry, I was being a psychopath. Like, I'm back now. Like, can we be friends again? And just like making it playful sometimes because it's like, it doesn't have to be so serious.
Yeah,
like,
no, we're, you know, I've said it in other episodes too. We're only episode 3 in and we've already talked about so much.
Yeah.
I love to clown, you know, don't take things so serious. Have a good time in this life. Enjoy life. It's very short. So while you're here, enjoy it as much as you can because it's just not that serious, bro. You know, it's not that serious. But yeah, I mean, that's episode 3 down in the books. Sorry if we yapped for too long. Do you think we yapped too long?
I don't know. This one felt a little longer, right?
It felt longer, but it was great. It was just like therapeutic. My bad if you made it this far, I love you. Thank you for listening. Guys, go favorite, I think it's called, or grade us on these platforms. If you're listening on Apple, make sure to give us 5 stars, leave a review. If you're on Spotify, follow the show, download the show. It really helps us out a lot. And the goal of this is to be able to help feed our cat and hopefully one day support our child.
Yeah, feed our cat. He's insane. So
yeah, he's been out of his mind. He's pissed Brittany off today, so we love you, Moon. We love you. But yeah, guys, follow us on socials. The links are in whatever you're watching on in the descriptions. We love you. Thank you for listening. 3rd episode down, 4th one coming soon, and we're just going to keep this thing going. I love you all, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, we love you.
Peace.